Hey, how's it going? And we're finally going over what I consider to be kind of the ultimate custom user interface that allows us to display custom signage or imagery on the screen, and then the user can turn it off, turn it on, turn it back on, or turn it back off. And so I based this off of some Epic Games documentation that they had on this. I guess they call it button interaction. So this is, I've taken their code and modified it, and I'll show you what I did. So this is what we end up with. And I think this is a good way to go because it didn't make any sense to me that you have to press a button to access another button. That just seemed crazy. So I found out that I really couldn't set this up with the trigger device, but I could set this up with a mutator device. So that's where that is, which is essentially like a trigger. So watch, this is what it's going to look like. But I want to explain to you how valuable this could be. So we come in here and we come around, and you can set this up so that the player going to end up hitting that trigger no matter where they're walking. But so here they hit the trigger, and this brings up a custom image. Now I want to talk about this is that this is a texture that's been imported. As such, you could bring in something that has type on it, text on it, and imagery, and it could take up the whole screen if you wanted. So this is the only interface that you might ever need for your game. And then down here on the bottom we got a button, and we press it and it goes away. Now I want to draw your attention to something too. When I come back around, this signage is constantly available for us. So look, if I come back, so look in the upper left corner, top corner, player has UI component new mapping created. Now, and that's it. Okay. And we can just keep going around and around and around. So this is the perfect functionality that you need for your game. So let me just show you what we did here. So here I've imported a texture, and you can put this in a folder, but I just have it in the creative devices folder right now, which is fine for me. But you're going to have to reference the folder that it's in. So once you bring in you come in here and you go add and you import your imagery. And like I said, this could be text instead of an image, so that's something to consider. So we got this mutator zone, and we have our reverse device. And essentially that's it. And then of course they're paired up here. And the rest of this is all in the code. So let's take a look at that. Now we have our modules here, and whenever we're going to import a texture, we have to add this module here, this verse assets. And once we save our texture, when you come in here and you come up here and you go save all after you've imported it, make sure there's no asterisk on it, then it'll appear here, over here on the left side. You'll see it under the assets folder here. And you'll see this is how we have to reference it. Creative devices is the folder or module, and then the name of this particular image is called camera arms. Okay, and then we come back in here. The Hello World device, we created a reference to our mutator zone device, and if we click on this control, you'll see there's all these different ways you can trigger it, on agent exiting or entering. It's completely up to you how you want to set that up. And then we create a mapping, and I guess this is just to keep track of if the player's been around before or has a map from somewhere else, so that it can be cleared out if he does for some reason. But so far I've never, well, I'll explain it in a minute, but this is player is the player value, and then this is a query into that, and this is an overlay. So I'm not using a canvas, I'm using an overlay, and I'll explain why in a minute. And then we go to on begin play, and then we reference to our my mutator device, and then agents enters event, and we subscribe to this function here. And this is kind of a interesting, complex little bit of code here, but this requires an agent, as the mutator does require an agent type, and it doesn't return anything, but it requires an agent parameter in. Testing going on here with if statements. But basically, if the player has if there's an agent there and they have a UI, go ahead and get it. So it returns the player UI component associated with the player. And if that's true, right, then it proceeds. But if this were like AI or something, then this would be false and nothing would happen. It would just escape out. But if it's true that it's an agent and they have a player UI, then we proceed to the next. So then we would print out player has a UI component. So the next one is, I interpret this as if they somehow have a mapping already, go ahead and remove it. But I've never been able to get this to happen. So I'm not sure how essential this is because I've never been able to trigger it. But I guess it's possible for them to have a key value or map in already. So, but you see it says remove the widget. So, but let me know if you ever can get this to trigger. And then if that's not true, then it goes to else, where this part makes perfect sense to me. Here we make a call to create our overlay. And then what we do is we assign the widget to the input mode, which allows basically us the ability to click on the button. So move our mouse still so that we can click a button. So we basically add a widget and then this new UI, and then it gives us the ability to click on the button if we need to. And then this sets the map again because this refers back to this variable, this mapping that they've done up here. And again, this type is not canvas, it's an overlay. And then we just add our new widget. So this is add widget, so we add a new UI widget. And then it calls down here, and then we set our button, and this could be to loud or regularly. And then because we have a UI button, we've created this function down here. So it calls down here when the button's pressed on the on-click event of the UI button. When we click on the button, basically we're telling it to remove the widget. And then it says, look, it looks like we set this back to false, it looks like, our mapping. So there's a lot going on with the mapping here as far as updating these key values, and I guess it's just a way of tracking if they've kind of been through before, they already have one. Because it says right here, a custom UI can only be associated with a specific player, and only that player can see it. So this mapping kind of keeps track of all that. Now, the one thing I wanted to talk about was I used an overlay instead of a canvas. So you'll see here, it says overlay, 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 overlay. And the reason I'm using an overlay is that it's simpler in terms of setting it up. So sometimes the way it's set up, it's hard to know where things are, but this way it's very simple. So, like here I've decided that I want the button to be on the bottom. So this is all set up with enumerators. So we just know I don't have to write in any values. I can just write in vertical alignment bottom, horizontal alignment center. And then here for the image, it's the same thing. And here is where we set our image display. So that size can be adjusted here too. And any values that you see in here, these can all be turned into variables. So you could make them at editable and adjust them on the screen. But if you set up with the overlay, since the setup is so simple and easy to understand, I think you can just hard adjust the values here and don't need to set up variables. And that's pretty much it. Now this is a function, and it does return here. So when it's called, it does return the canvas. So it's called here, right, new UI, and so this canvas is called here, right? And so when it's called, it's assigned to new UI. So this, when we go new UI, and we've made sure that there's no, I guess, prior mappings or other UIs in the way, we make the call here, and then it creates our UI, our overlay, and then it returns it here that's assigned to new UI. Right? So anyway, it's worth studying this code. But anyway, that's it. But as far as I'm concerned, this is the ultimate. This is about all the functionality you would need to create a customized display that a player could easily trigger and then control to turn off. So anyway, I hope you found this helpful. Take care, have a great day, and I'll talk to you next time.